My name is Preeti and I'm a knitter based in Toronto. I'm here today on this 30-degree summer day to talk about all my knits. And so I'm gonna just jump right in. And I'm also trying a new angle, so let's see how this goes. But late last night, I cast off the Vivi cardigan by Sari Nordland. As you can see here, excuse all the loose ends. They haven't been woven in for a reason. You got the back, and you got that side. All right, I have a lot of thoughts about this cardigan. First of all, I'm gonna have to take it off because it's way too hot. So the Vivi cardigan is a knit by Sari Nordland. It has, it's a DK weight pattern with, she recommends a fingering weight plus a mohair. And I did that with the Knitting for Olive in the merino and soft silk mohair in the colors Bordeaux. I have been working on this since May, and I have a lot of challenges with it, so I'm not sure how I feel. I think the biggest thing, I'll just start with the things that are top of mind for me. So I knit the size 2, and I know that her patterns tend to be a little bit looser, which means I need to, and I'm a tighter knitter in relation, so I need to make a bigger size. So I thought I could achieve that by knitting it on a bigger needle size than what she recommends, which I'm glad I did, but I needed to go one step further and I needed to make the size 3 because it's quite tight in the body. And the sleeves are really, really tight. And I just want to show you. You do a lot of decreases along it, and I'm one of those people that needs to follow the pattern. And I shouldn't have, because it's extremely tight against my arms. There's no give. And I know, like, when it's not 30 plus degrees and I'm wearing this on a cooler day, it's gonna feel itchy against my skin. So I need to go back and I need to make this bigger. I have so many thoughts. I'm just gonna try to keep them organized. So for the size that I made, she recommends 4 balls of the Knitting for Olive merino and 4 balls of the soft silk mohair. And because I was always kind of in my head playing a bit of a game of yarn chicken, I didn't make it as long. So it's a little bit more on the crop side. And I followed her to the T with the sleeves. And I have too much yarn left over. This is a case where I have too much yarn left over. Like, this is what I have of my 4th ball. That's a lot. I definitely thought I was gonna need to go out and buy more, but I actually have a lot left, which tells me that I like overcompensated with the yarn chicken. So I think, I've been thinking so many things, like, what do I do? Right now, I have no desire to rip everything out and start again. I need to block it. I need to block the entire thing, and I need to see how much does this actually grow, because I know it's on the tighter side because of all the cables. So I need to see how much does it grow in width and how much does it grow in length. And then I need to make adjustments accordingly. And I think based on kind of what I have left over so far and the fact that I'm okay with going out and buying more yarn, I'm going to probably, based on how much the sleeve grows, I'm gonna rip it out entirely, or I'm just gonna rip it out about here, and I'm gonna not do the rapid decreases. I might just do a couple of decreases so that I don't have this tight fitting sleeve. I'm gonna keep going about the sleeves. So there's, as you can see, reverse stockinette, right, all along here, and your decreases are on the reverse stockinette. And you pick up, so when I initially picked up the sleeves, the way I normally pick up sleeves is you go from the outside and you pick up. But when I did that, I got like a bit like a weird seam, which I still have. because it's only the underarm that has the reverse stockinette. I hope I'm making sense. So basically, when I picked up the stitches from the outside, you have a knit seam kind of showing up because everything you're looking, because it's reverse stockinette on the bottom where you start your pickup. And I didn't like that. I thought, oh, there was no mention about how to pick up your sleeves. So then I went from the inside and I picked up the stitches so I didn't have that funky seam on the reverse stockinette, which I kind of do still, but not as bad. But now I have that seam on the cabling. Like I have a seam here because it would be weird to pick up stitches from the outside and on the inside on the same pickup line, right? Like you have to either pick up from the outside or pick up from the inside. So I just don't understand how to get around that. And I tried to look at her sample, and she has, I guess she has a bit of a seam too. It's kind of hard to tell, but maybe it's not that big of a deal, but it's something. And then doing decreases on reverse stockinette is not that clean. And I don't know if you can see the holes. I'm trying to cover my face so you can see it, but there are some areas where the decreases were a bit sloppy looking-ish. The other issue is I did magic loop. So this is where the magic loop was kind of folded. And generally speaking, I'm okay with magic loop, but for the first sleeve, I did find it hard because you're also doing cables, and so it's a little hard to do magic loop, like switch needle sides when you're also working a texture or a pattern, not just stockinette, and so that was a bit challenging, but I did figure it out for the second sleeve. And you know how it usually goes, your first sleeve takes forever, takes a week, and then the second sleeve only takes like a couple days, and that was the case with this. But I think part of the reason why is because the sleeve it tapers so fast and it's so thin, and I don't like it. So yeah, if blocking doesn't do magic, I'm going to rip it out. But I think no matter what, I'm gonna rip out like part or the full sleeves just so that I can use this up, because in my heart, it just feels wrong that a cardigan didn't use up 4 balls at the minimum of yarn, because my April cardigan, where I also used Knitting for Olive, this exact like combo, did use it up. And I know that the April cardigan has a lot more ease, but not like a ton of ease. Like it fits nicely. This just feels too tight, and I don't know why. It's really frustrating me that it's so tight. It's because it's very fresh off the needles, and I really kind of powered through the last couple of weeks to get it done. And now I'm just a tad bummed. So let me think what else. So the double knit button band was pretty easy to do, and I didn't get any curling or anything like that. It's really not that see-through, but with the sun in the background, I guess it's looking that way. And then you do a twisted ribbing for the collar. Twisted ribbing for the collar, which is all fine and dandy, and it was good to have the twisted ribbing. Why don't I put it on? Okay, so it was good to have this twisted ribbing finally on the piece, because it looked funny without it. Like it just kind of was like not sitting nicely. And I know it's hard to imagine how this looks because I have a lot of loose ends that I'm not going to deal with until after blocking, and I decide what I'm going to do with this whole darn thing. Yeah. I also found like picking up the stitches, like I have a pretty big hole, and I think it's just the reverse stockinette that I really struggled with. So yeah, like I didn't end up making any more kind of pattern mistakes. Like there's no pattern mistakes on the sleeve or in the front. It's just the one in the back. And, you know, it's not a big deal. It reminds me that I'm human. And, you know, I think like I'm just a tad bummed at how it looks because it's just, it's so slim fitting. Like, anyway, yeah, so there are ways around it. The first thing is I gotta block it. I need to see how much does it grow. And then I need to decide if I'm going to just go back and fix the sleeves fully or partially. And then maybe in September I can decide whether or not I wanna redo the whole thing, like make it bigger, go up to the size 3 like I should have. Because I do want this piece, you know? So it's fine. It's like, it's part of the game. It's part of the knitting journey. This is how it goes. So I still recommend the pattern. My key takeaways would be, if you I guess the gauge swatch would have helped. I think what I should have done is done a gauge swatch, and I should have gone to like a knitting store to see, like, get some help in reading it. I think after I joined in the arms, I could tell that it was snug. I think I mentioned that in one of my vlogs or podcasts, and I just kind of kept going, which is probably the point where I should have ripped it out and started again. I definitely should have gone up in terms of my arms. I didn't increase the arm depth, or, you know, like, instead of picking up the size 2, I should have picked up the size 3 or size 4. But I didn't, because again, I wanted to fit this project within the balls of yarn that I had. But that ended up making me make decisions that weren't right for the pattern. So yeah, it's my weird, like, obsession with following the pattern as it's written instead of kind of adjusting as I can see fit. And that's okay. It's honestly, it's the end of July. It's extremely hot out. If I haven't mentioned that. I'm not going to be wearing this until at least the end of September. So there's time to put this aside, take a few breaths, you know, work on something else, and then come back to this. And I'll definitely, I'll block it tonight. I might as well, and see how much it grows, and then adjust accordingly. And it's totally fine. So that's my update on the Vivi cardigan. It's done, but obviously there's still a lot more. There's still a lot more to do and see and assess before I properly, like, add the buttons and sew in the ends and call this done and dusted. So yeah, that's my Vivi cardigan so far. Okay, the other projects that I've been working on for the last several videos, the poppy tee, which I bound off the body. And I'm now, as you can see, doing the neck band. This is how much I have left of the third ball. It'll definitely be enough for the button band, or the neck band. And I'm not gonna fold it over. I'm just gonna leave it as is. And then I have one more ball left, which again, I started thinking, oh, is it gonna be enough to make long sleeves? To be honest, it actually might be. And if it's not, then there will be 3/4 length sleeves, that's fine. So it turns out that this color by Drops is discontinued, and I think it's called strawberry something, or coral. Doesn't matter because it's discontinued. I think I did have a moment where I was like, oh shoot, I need to go and find a store that might randomly carry it, and I did. I think somewhere in Quebec. And I was like, okay, be rational, see how far I can get with what I have, and then decide. So it's fine. It's not, I don't have to make this project perfect. It's gonna be fine as a tee or as a 3/4 length shirt. So yeah, that's where I am in terms of the yarn. And okay, so she asks you to do an interesting bind off. where you do a round of like purl, and then you do a round of knit, and then you do ribbing, and then you do tubular bind off. But what the heck? It's so stiff. And you know what? This happened too with my Lakes pullover. The tubular bind off is actually making the bind off too tight, and it's a little bit uncomfortable. So now it's like, it's stiff, it has no give. It's like, it's really it's tight. It, see, stretchy, nothing. Stretchy. Then I was like, oh, why did I do the tubular bind off? And you know what? I was just like reading each line. I wasn't really kind of reading a few lines ahead. I think if I had just read a few lines ahead, I wouldn't have done this kind of edging and then the rib. I would have just jumped into the rib. But it's fine. I think I'm just feeling a little knitting frustrated. So I need to remember that this is just a hobby. It's okay. So yeah, Poppy Tea is coming along. I bet the next time I see you, it'll definitely be done, which will be great. Right, the other project that I've showed you multiple times, but it's still it's at the kind of the same place as the Poppy Tea, is the Cumulus Tea O-neck, where I'm basically almost done the body. I'm just have like a few rows left, and then I'll do the I-cord bind off. And then this is what I have left over to do some cap sleeves, which it's all like kind of, oops, sorry. It's all kind of balled up. This will definitely be enough for some nice sleeves. And then, yeah, that'll be it. And I'll just do the I-cord for the neck before I jump into the sleeves, and that'll be that. And then this will be done. This is the most low maintenance project I've been working on so far. But it does give me a little bit of joy. So and not much to report here. Will it be done before the end of the summer? I hope so. We shall see. It's so hot out, you can't even think about knits. It's just, it's not knit weather. It's not summer knit weather. It's not knit weather. But yeah, this is my Cumulus Tea O-neck. So on the theme of hot summer weather, I am going to pick up the Billie pullover again, because I want it done by December, and I think it'll be very cute. And even though I'm frustrated with my Vivi cardigan, it was fun to make, and I think I do enjoy having like a textured complex knit on the go. So as a reminder, the Billie pullover is a pattern by Sari Nordland. It has texture everywhere. It has like the honeycomb cables, and then it's got raglan cables and more cables on the sides, just cables on cables on cables. And I'm using a Briggs & Little yarn that I have caked up from another project, and I have bought some more so I can finish the project. And I think and I'm knitting it on 5.5 millimeter needles, and I'm making the size 3. So yeah, will this be huge? I heard that when you put the neck, it ends up being like, it really puts it together, and I'm okay with it. Just like be huge. Because I think I'd rather have something bigger than too small. I don't know. This has been the year where I thought, like, because I'm in my 3rd year of consistent knitting, I thought like projects would just, they would just all come out perfect. But no, I think I'm still learning. Or I don't know. Just a little bit of knitting frustration when it comes to how the sizes are coming out. Some of them are okay, but yeah, when they don't, it can be really frustrating. But yeah, I'm hoping to get moving on the Billie pullover and have it done definitely by October, November, which I think is realistic because it's big needles. The only kind of problem, or the only reason why I put on hold because, spring, summer, but also because the yarn is not the most pleasant to work with. It's very, very, very rustic. This that you're seeing right now has been blocked. I think I mentioned in an earlier podcast that when I was working on it, that I did block it just to see how the yarn would bloom, and it did bloom very nicely, and it's a lot softer. But the yarn, as you knit it up, is quite rustic. And so your hands feel dry. It's just kind of a bit unpleasant. So that will be the only thing that kind of slows me down, but it's okay. Like I won't need something like this for quite some time. So yeah, I'll just try to finish it before the end of the year and maybe over dye it. I don't know, I feel like something like this would look better in a really dark wintry color, but TBD. That's way down in the future for me to worry about. But yeah, I'm excited to get another Billie project back in action. So last time I asked you whether I should make the Elizabeth blouse or the peacock cardigan with my Drops Flora in this color 05. And it's matching mohair. Well, it doesn't really look matching, does it? I'm trying to find the color. Color 22. And I don't know if you can tell, but the core has this like striping. Anyway, I'm going to pair these two together. Maybe I'll start with a swatch. And I was pretty convinced about making the peacock cardigan, but instead I was convinced by a couple commenters to make the Elizabeth blouse, and I think they are right. And so yeah, this is going to turn into the Elizabeth blouse. I'm going to hope to cast it on this week, and I think it's going to look amazing. And I'm just feeling it in terms of softness. It's not as fuzzy as the kid silk that I bought for my acne cardigan. It was in the color like lavender. That one had a lot of fuzziness and it was quite itchy, but this doesn't seem to have as much fuzz. It actually feels quite soft, but we'll see. I know Drops yarn doesn't have, in my experience and from what I hear from others, like it's not soft, but I've heard that some are softer than others and some like almost like knitting for olive quality soft. So we'll see. At least with the knitting, with the Elizabeth blouse, I do anticipate wearing something underneath. It won't be like just worn on its own. So yeah, I'm excited to get this one going. Okay, and finally another project that I'm hoping to cast on this week is the Loom sweater by Sari Nordland. And I'm going to use this Patton's Classic Worsted that I picked up from Michael's in the color cream, I think it's called. Okay, this is funny. The ball of yarn is called Classic Worsted, but it says that it's an Aran weight yarn. So make up your mind. Are you worsted or you're not? I treat it as worsted. And then I'm going to use this as my contrast color for the motifs. This is this is a Cascade 220 that I use for my book club cardigan, and it's like one of the classic. It's one of the Cascade 220 Worsted Heathers colors. I don't remember the name, so I'll have it written. And I think I have more than just this ball. Yeah, so I'm going to use it for the contrast. And if I happen to run out, I have other colors in the worsted weight that I would love to use in addition. But I think these two together should look cute for a nice color work sweater that I can wear in October. So yeah, I'm really not doing any summer garments this year. I just don't see the point when it's so hot. I'm not gonna wear it. So I might as well just get ready for the winter. That's all I have to talk about today. I will definitely keep you posted on the outcome of the Vivi cardigan. I'm hoping today to pick up some buttons for it. Yeah, and then I'm also hoping, like I said, to cast on the Elizabeth blouse. Please let me know what you're working on this summer. Are you experiencing like really, really hot weather, heat wave type of weather? And are you knitting through it? Or are you, taking summer off? Do let me know in the comments. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.